hadn't meant to say it out loud. That was the problem. The docking ring of Khepri station was crowded with arrivals from a dozen star systems, voices overlapping in a dozen frequencies. Translators hummed, gravity fields adjusted, and the air shimmered faintly with the residue of faster-than-light travel. Humans like me were rare here, but not unheard of. We were tolerated, sometimes welcomed, often ignored. I was happy with ignored. I stood near the observation rail, waiting for my clearance ping, watching the incoming delegation from the Tyrrell Ascendancy. They moved in perfect formation, robes flowing like liquid shadow, their presence drawing attention even from species that normally pretended not to notice anything outside themselves. And then I saw her. She walked slightly apart from the others, her posture relaxed where theirs was rigid. Her skin caught the station lights in a way that wasn't reflective, but absorptive, like starlight sinking into deep water. Bioluminescent markings traced subtle patterns along her arms and neck, shifting softly as she moved. I'd read about the Tyrrell. Photos, diagrams, cultural briefings. None of them prepared me for the reality. Before I could stop myself, I muttered. Quietly, I thought. She's incredible. Not crude. Not meant for anyone else. Just a human moment of awe, breathed into the noise of the station. The Tyrrell delegation stopped. Every single one of them. A ripple of unease passed through the crowd. Station security stiffened. A few nearby merchants pretended very hard to suddenly be fascinated by their inventory. And the alien woman turned. Her eyes, dark, luminous, and unsettlingly focused, locked onto me. I felt something brush my mind. Not invasive. Curious. You, she said. Not through the translator grid. Directly. Cleanly. Perfect Terran standard. Come closer. My heart slammed against my ribs. I glanced around, hoping, absurdly, that she meant someone else. No one met my gaze. Some looked sympathetic. Others looked relieved it wasn't them. I gestured to myself. Me. Yes, she said, stepping forward. You spoke without thinking. That makes you interesting. I swallowed and did the only thing that felt safer than running. I walked toward her. Close, the details became overwhelming. The faint warmth radiating from her skin. The way her markings responded subtly to my proximity. The quiet power in her stance. Not threatening but undeniable. I apologize, I said quickly. If I offended. You did not, she replied. You observed. You reacted honestly. That is uncommon here. She studied my face with an intensity that made me feel transparent. You are human. Yes. And unshielded, she added. No cognitive dampeners. No emotional filters. I didn't know those were an option. A faint smile touched her lips. They are. Most species prefer them. She turned slightly, addressing the Tyrrell behind her without looking away from me. Continue to the council chamber. I will join you shortly. There was a pause, just long enough to suggest protest. Then the delegation moved on without her. Just like that, I was alone with one of the most diplomatically dangerous beings on the station. My name is Salith, she said. I am a voice-bearer of the Tyrrell Ascendancy. Heard the term. Voices spoke not just for governments, but for cultural memory itself. I'm Jalen, I said. Freelance systems analyst. Temporary resident. Accidentally loud thinker. Her markings brightened slightly. Amusement, maybe. Walk with me, Jalen. We moved along the curved corridor overlooking the stars. I became acutely aware of every step, every breath, every human instinct telling me this encounter mattered in ways I didn't yet understand. You heard me, I said finally. Even though I wasn't speaking to you. Yes. How? Your thoughts were not directed, she said. They moved outward. Unarmored. I frowned. Is that bad? It is rare, she corrected. Among the Tyrol, unfiltered perception is reserved for early childhood. Later we learn restraint, control, distance, and humans. You do not, she said softly. You feel first, then decide what to hide. That didn't sound like a compliment, but it didn't sound like an insult either. We stopped near a transparent viewport. Beyond it, a blue-white star burned steadily, massive and indifferent. You admired my form, Salith said matter-of-factly. Not with hunger, not with dominance, with wonder. I felt my face heat. I really didn't mean to. I know, she interrupted. That is why I called you forward. She turned to face me fully. My people are considering a treaty that would reshape this region of space. We have studied your species, observed your wars, your art, your contradictions, and asked carefully. And we do not understand you, she said, which makes you dangerous or essential. I laughed nervously. Those seem like very different options. Not to us. She reached out. Not touching me, but close enough that I felt a faint pressure like standing near a charged field. When you spoke, she continued, you revealed something my people struggle to preserve. Genuine response. Uncalculated truth. I thought of Earth. Of how often honesty caused problems instead of solving them. What does that have to do with a treaty? I asked. Everything, she said. Our alliances fail because they are perfect, static, predictable. They do not grow. Her gaze softened. I need a human perspective. Not an ambassador trained to say the correct thing. Someone who reacts before thinking. That's a risky qualification. Yes, she agreed. Which is why it may succeed. The council chamber meeting was tense. Delegates argued over borders, trade routes, shared technologies. Salith spoke with clarity and grace, dismantling objections without raising her voice. When discussions stalled, she looked to me. What do you think? She asked in front of everyone. Froze. Every eye turned toward me. I think, I said slowly, that you're all talking about control when what you're really afraid of is trust. A murmur rippled through the chamber. Salith inclined her head. Continue. You want guarantees, I said, gaining confidence. But guarantees don't build alliances. They just delay failure. If this treaty doesn't allow room for disagreement, real disagreement, it'll break the first time someone changes. Silence. Then Salith smiled. Openly this time. The treaty passed 3 cycles later. Modified, flexible, uncomfortable, effective. On the day Salith departed Khepri station, she found me again by the observation rail. You spoke without thinking, she said, and changed the course of negotiations that have failed for decades. I just said what I saw. That is precisely what we needed. He paused. Will you come with us? And blinked. As what? As yourself, she said. An observer. A reminder. I looked out at the stars, vast, uncertain, full of risk. Then back at her. Yeah, I said. I think I will. She extended her hand. This time when I took it I did so deliberately. And the universe felt a little more alive for it.